And now we come to the final part, the final section of kale production, and that is the important part, which is gross margin. And this is what determines, the energy that you are going to put into this production. And therefore here, what we usually do, we give you on average. The market is dynamic. On average, the yield, the average yield, and also we are going to look at once you sell, the prices may be different depending on the demand and supply. But we are going to look at on average what you can be able to get, once you get into this venture. And here we are going to look at a case study of quarter of an acre, the inputs, and then we are going to look at the outputs. And then we can be able to see after around 5 months how much will be the profitability of this venture. And we are looking at a plowing. Plowing, you are going to give it at $10 US. From here we have the phosphatic fertilizer, the one that we said you start with. You are going to give it $35. Then we have the manure, the manuring, mostly the animal manure, the farmyard manure, the well decomposed, $100. Then we have the seeds that we are going to use to plant there, $10. The transplanting labor during transplanting, $10. The chemicals that you are going to use there, that is the chemicals for eliminating the diseases, the pests, and also the foliar fertilizers. We give it $50. Top dressing, the fertilizers that you are going to use, that is the the nitrogenous fertilizer, and also the NPK, as mentioned. We are going to give it $60 for a quarter of an acre. Then we have the weeding. Remember we said there are 2 weedings that are done, and this weeding we give it $30. Then we have harvesting. Remember, harvesting is done for around 5 to 6 months, but we give it 5 months, and this will give us will require $100. Telling that the total input comes to $405 on everything that I have mentioned. Let us look at the output. The production or the harvest is done every 14 days. And every 14 days, remember here, the sale for kales is done in sacks. And here we are going to consider the 50 kg sacks that are filled. And once this sack is filled, then it is usually sold to the traders. You sell it for sometimes $1, sometimes it may be $2, sometimes $5, sometimes $10, and it may go even to $20. It depends on the demand and supply of the product in the market. And therefore, here we have considered that you sell on average $5. You sell on average $5, and that is per that bag. And therefore, for half an acre, we have an output every 14 days of 15 bags of 50 kgs. And therefore, once you have this, and each bag you sell at $5, you're going to have a total harvest after every 14 days of a total yield of 14 days, that is of 15 bags. And the total money will be, that is the 15 bags with $5 per bag. That gives you $75. That is every 15 days, every 14 days. Doing that per month, it will give you $150. And once you do that for 5 months, we are giving a case study of 5 months, you get $750. Now, looking at the net margins, you had an output of, you had an input of $405, and the output here is after 5 months is $750. Removing this from the input, which was $405, you get $345 as the net margin for the 5 months. That is for quarter of an acre. For quarter of an acre. And for 1 acre, for half an acre, and for 1 acre, even for 2 acres, then of course this will be, 4 times this amount. And actually, when you are looking at a situation where you'll be doing the pumping, maybe you have a water source, you are in the low altitude areas where rain fed is limiting. We have a water pump. Maybe you purchase a water pump at $200 and the connection pipes at $50. Then you use electricity at $60. You are going to have a total of 310 that are as the cost. So out of 345 as a net gross and the net margins, then you are going to see that within 5 months you can be able to cover the cost of all the costs. You're going to cover all the costs as explained, including of the water pump, the pipes, and even the electricity, such that after 5 months you have already covered the cost of the pipe and the water pump. And therefore what will remain now is the next harvest or the next planting. Thus we are considering quarter of an acre. And therefore during your subsequent harvesting or subsequent crop, you are not going to have the cost of the water pump and also the pipes. And therefore, as you can be able to see from the workings that we have here, you're going to see that on the basic, when that bag is bought at $5, you're going to see that there is already profitability. If that bag is bought at 1,000, then your profitability will be double that. And therefore, once we consider these margins, the gross margin, then definitely you are going to see that growing your kale crop is profitable. And therefore, that's why we encourage that this be a venture that you can be able to venture into. If you have quarter of an acre, it is a venture that you can go into, and especially if you are in a rain-fed area, or maybe you can be able to do the irrigation, you can be able to do this. And if you have maybe around 1 acre, you see you can be able to cover all your costs, and you find that you are going to gain profit as a result of your venture. We encourage you to take this venture of kale growing because it is a crop that can be able to can be able to give you value for your money, and you find that this will be a profitable venture that you can be proud of.